Hi, hello everyone. So in this particular video, we are going to solve the SkyTower machine. This is a OSCP machine, and we are going to solve it. The prerequisite for this machine will be you have to have the Oracle VirtualBox, and also you should be having Kali Linux installed. I am using the Kali in my VMware workstation, so I will be having the RDP connection of my Kali. Secondly, the SkyTower, which is our target machine, will be hosted and be using in the virtual box, and the reason because it has been modified and been created for the virtual box, so it might won't work, and I have tried it but it's not working with the VMware as good as virtual box. So what we can do is we can use the VirtualBox application, and here we are using the VirtualBox application, and the settings which I wanted to show you before starting up, so there will be no errors from you guys also. So if you go in the network, you should be having the bridge adapter. If you don't want to go into the bridge adapter and you are not in the home network, so what you can do is you can go for the host only adapter, or you can go for the NAT one. But in NAT also it will be having the internet connectivity, so you can go for the host adapter. And same, uh, you have to add your Kali machine also into the host only adapter. Else what you can do, if you want the exploit to be get downloaded and anything else for the further machines also, so what you can do is you can add one adapter as a bridge adapter in your Kali, and second adapter as a host only adapter for your Kali machine, so it can communicate with your host only target machine. And this is the settings. I hope you have understand these settings, and that's all. Now we can start our machine. So this my setup is like this is in the bridge network, the same IP address it will be getting as my Kali machine, and my Kali is also in the same network, bridge only, and both are into a different virtual machine software. So the method which I have showed you for host only, adding this machine into host only and adding one more adapter with bridge, one more adapter you can add in your Kali, that will work only specific to only one software. So for example, you are having VirtualBox, and in VirtualBox you are having SkyTower your target, and Kali Linux your main machine, targeting machine. So these two machines running into the same network will be having the connectivity for host only. So that's all for the network, and now we can start the Kali for getting into the system. So before that we have to get the MAC. So the MAC is like we can take the 4A and 37, the last four digit 4A and 37. We can go into the RDP. This is my Linux machine, Kali Linux machine, and here we have to open our terminal. We can go here, and there we are. So what we have to do is we have to get into our Mac, and we have to get the IP address, because we don't know the IP address and we don't have the access to the machine, so we can get the IP from the machine only. So what we have to do is we have the Mac, we have to get the IP from the Mac. So for that we have to run a scan basically. So what we will do is we will do a ARP scan with -L switch, and to note it, I am using it under the root, and it won't work as a normal user. Okay, and there we are. So the Mac for that was, I guess, let me check. So it was 4837. Okay, so we have to change it. Let's go into our settings. First of all, array, shit, I have not started the machine. Let it get started. 4A and 37. So I was solving this machine, taken it into the snapshot, and I have reverted the snapshot. I guess due to that it started. Yes, it started. So now we will again scan 4A37. We got the IP. Now we'll copy, and after that we'll run a scan. Okay, so the scan has been completed, and what we can see here is we have three ports open. One is a proxy, second is the HTTP, and the third one is the SSH. So the SSH port is something which is a little interesting. It's a state of that particular service is filtered. So it means limited IP or anything related to it will be getting connected, and we won't be having the direct connection. So due to which there will be won't be a chances for doing a Hydra or a brute force attack on the SSH. The second target what we can do is to get back onto the machine is the port 80. So let's go on the port 80 without wasting any time, and if we check the port 80, we get a login page. So on this login page, I was trying to get the SQL, and SQL was let me show you what was the error. If I do, so any guys who will be thinking like why are you doing it manually, you can do it with the burb. So with burb I've wasted my many of my times. So while doing it manually, I got something reconnaissance which I will show you right now. So if I try to do it login, what it says, there is an error running the query. You have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manually correspondings with the right syntax to use the nearby. So it says like password is this, but what we have entered is this. So if you check, there is a difference. Means somebody has removed this, or so these two things are being removed with the filtration process. So what we can do is we can try to modify it with again we have to let me do it manually here. So let's go. What we will do is changing the or with the double pipe, and changing this last one with the hashtag. Same, copy and paste, login, and voila. What we got? We got the welcome of John. Means John is the user and Skytech is their domain. So it says something like the remainder of the contract and the retirement $2 has been payout in full of the security. For security reasons, you must log into the Skytech server via the SSH to access the account details. This is the user and the password. Here is John is the password and John is the username. So after this message, I was very happy. Like okay, this machine is very easy, and we can like the machine is been over. We have to get the SSH, and we have to do this and that, and we got the access. But no, this was the initial what we can say of the machine. There are more things to be done. So let me open a new tab. Okay, there we go. So if I check here, doing the SSH. You remember I said like you won't be able to log in directly because it's a filter one. So if I try to do SSH at 192.168.0.143, which is the machine IP which I have got, you won't be able to do it. Look, no. And if I type who am I, no, there is nothing. So it means like we won't be able to do the SSH directly. But what we can do is there is a there is a proxy. There is a proxy which we can use. So the proxy will be redirecting us back to the SSH. So proxy is also running on the same server. SSH is also running on the same server. So now we have to run a proxy tunnel. And right guys, you have heard very right, proxy tunnel. So there is a proxy tunnel hyphen p, giving the target and their port number on which the target proxy is running, and also giving the localhost hyphen a 1234, the port number which we will be using to get connected, and that's it. Now what we have to do is we have to open a new tab again. We have to take the root access, which I do every time, and what we have to do is we have to now SSH John, same things, but I said we have to use a port, and that is the same port, this one. Okay, hit enter. It says like connection is been refused. Okay, that is because we have used the local host, because we are now into their machine, into the tunnel. So we have to use as this server is the um, SkyTech server, and there we go. So the password is here is John, and we got the access. Okay, but no, the funds has been withdrawn, connection to the local host has been closed. Now as you can see, we have got the access, we have got some more details like the OS and the kernel versions, but still we are our connection was closed, and this was within a second everything was done. So this connection is not perfect. So what we can do to make this connection perfect is we can have a trick of like opening up a bin bash and then giving the password, and then if I type here who am I, it will say John, but this is not the, what we say, a not a perfect terminal access which we required. And I had tried to get into this with the Python is if it is there, so I can get the terminal easily, but Python is also not installed, none of the Pythons are been installed, so due to which I won't be able to get the terminal here. So there is a new way. So this problem is there in the bin archi file, so we will remove that particular file and exit, and now we'll try to again log in back with here is John, and there we go, we got the access of the file and we got the terminal. And if I type here who am I, we'll get the again same results as we want. But this is not we want the root access basically. So for the root access we have to get to the root, or either we have to get something related to the like we our main focus is to get the root flag basically. So to get the root flag in the root directory, we either need the any files connected to the root, or we have some commands connected to the root, and or else we get directly the root with the kernel exploitation. For kernel exploitation we need the GCC, but GCC is also not been installed in this particular machine. So for that we have only two options left, which I said you earlier. So now what we can do is we can go a little further by checking the commands which are runnable to us as a sudo user. So for that we have to run the sudo -l. Okay, now here it needs the password and I give the password. I guess I have given the wrong one. Okay, here is John, and it says like the sorry, user John may not run the sudo on the SkyTower. Okay, so that's the one thing. So if I do the pwd, so we are into the home John, so it might be having somewhere flavor around Divin. Okay, it is written here Divin, might possible it will be a Ubuntu server. So if I try to cat release, and no, it's a Debian flavor 7, we'll see. Okay, so this was it, and now what we can do is we can go and check the other users which are there in the home directory. So every user have their own home directory. If some users have been created without the home directory, that's a exception case, we can find out into the etc password. So now let's we check, and we got three users: John, which we have the user, Sarah and William. So these users are there, so we have to get the access of Sarah and William. So now our target will be these two users. So to get this users access, the MySQL is having some services running on this particular server. Okay, so this is the login page. So what I thought is, why not to go on the login page and try to see what is there into the login page. So if I cat www dot, sorry, where www login, yes, and also we don't want all the rubbish garbage, we want the first 5 lines. And what we got here is the DB new MySQLi localhost user and the password, that is root, and password is also root. So what we can do is MySQL -u root -p root. Okay, there is something error. Okay, there we are. So we got the access of the MySQL, and what we can do is show databases, and it says like there are 4 databases, but something related to it is the SkyTech, which we will copy and use it, SkyTech. And it says like database change. Okay, show tables under the data, and we got the login table. If we select star from login, spelling is right, yes, spelling is right. Okay, so what we have got is boom, we got the user and the password, and usually it is not been saved in such a way. They are saved in the hashes format. So now let's me paste that also. Okay, there we are, we got some information. Now I will try to utilize our screen. Windows 11 has the feature to basically have this sort of a setup directly. They have the wizard, so I don't know when Kali will bring that, so directly we can just use it. Okay, forgot about it. Exit, and it says bye. Okay, bye. Now try to exit from here also, clear the screen. Now we'll try to SSH into Sarah. Okay, Sarah, this Sarah, either he or she, who or her job, which she don't like it. I hate this job. The password is frustrated employees. SSH, Sarah @ 127, same thing again. Okay. If I try to log in, I hate this job, and again same disease. So for same disease we have to give the same medicines. Okay, I hate this job. Okay, okay, we have got who am I. Sometimes my mind gets hanged up when I when I don't get any response, because Linux is something where you will getting the response. In Windows you won't get response for some of the things, and that's fine, absolutely. But for Windows it is same thing. But for Linux, most of the things are very verbose. Even if you check the boot up of the system, it says you every pain point detail. So after doing this, if you don't get the response, I sometimes get hang up. Even I know it, what it is. You know what I mean. Okay. So if I try here, who am I? And it says like Sarah. And what we have to do is we have to again give as bash rc to remove that file, and then we have to exit, and then we have to again get to the login with the same thing like I hate this job, which is the password, and it says like Sarah @SkyTower. And what we have to do is here is we have to get to check whether the commands are accessible to this particular user as a root user. Okay, this doesn't seems interesting. What we are interested into this, especially this part, because it is as a root what we can run here. So what I see is the cat command, and somewhere around this directory is accessible, and as a root you can execute ls to list this directory. Okay, if I paste here, no such files or directories. Okay, if I do ls and accounts, okay, there is nothing. If I enter tab, if I do this, no, nothing. So what we can do is accounts, and if I try to get into root, if I try sudo, okay, there is a flag, peoples, there are flags. Sudo cat accounts root and flag dot txt. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready? 3, 2, 0.5 and there we are. Congrats, have a cold one to celebrate. Root password is the SkyTower, sorry. So if I do su root, if I paste that, and we got the root. Who am I? I'm the root. I will take a snippet of this and have it in my POC. There we are, my POC is also done. So that's it, guys. This was a way to basically get the Sky Tower to get into the Sky Tower. Basically, you can find this Sky Tower on Vulnhub, not the Vulnhub. There you are. I had also find some the kernel versions exploit also, but GCC was not there into the system, due to which we are unable to exploit the kernel. But again, at the end of the day, we have got the root access, and that's all. Thank you for watching this particular video. If you have any doubts or comments, please feel free to comment down below. Thank you, have a nice day, bye bye.